Hi! In this lesson, I'm going to talk about law of constant composition. Okay, so who's the chemist that discovered that law? Well, it was the French chemist Joseph Louis Proust. Of course, when did he discover it? He discovered it in 1799 and he was born in 1754. But when did he die? He died at 1826. Okay, that's now half of the lesson. Now let's go back to the second half. What is the law of constant composition? Now the law of constant composition is made out of two laws, or it has two laws. The first law states that in every chemical reaction, or in a chemical reaction, matter is neither created or destroyed. In other words, if we have matter in the reactants and it reacted, it had chemical change, it has chemical reaction. And the product side, the matter will be the same matter but in different bonds, so it won't be destroyed, or you won't find in the product any other new matter that wasn't even in the chemical reaction. The second law states that each pure chemical compound always have the same percentage composition in each element by the mass, or by mass. So each pure chemical compound always has the same percentage composition of each element by mass. So that's the second law. Now if you didn't understand it, well, I have a better way to understand it. Of course, this way can prove both those laws that they are correct, and also it's much easier to understand. As you can see here, I have bricks. I have the red bricks to represent oxygen atoms. Of course, oxygen is bigger than hydrogen, so I made them bigger. And we have the hydrogen atoms. So hydrogen is the white piece and oxygen is the white piece. And here we have the product. So this side, okay, this side is just the reactants and this side is just the product. Okay, so here we have H2 and H2, so that's 2 moles of hydrogen, and here we have 1 mole of oxygen, O2. They react and they form 2 moles of water, so that's the balanced equation. Okay, so this is the chemical reaction of hydrogen combusting with oxygen to form water. So that's the example that I'm giving for now. So it's going to be 2H2 plus O2 arrow 2H2O. Okay, how does that prove that both of these laws are correct? Well, if you look in here, you can see for the first law, of course, you can see that we have how many hydrogen atoms? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 hydrogen atoms. And how many oxygen atoms? 2 in the reactant side. Okay, so the law states that in chemical reactions, matter is neither created or destroyed. So here we prove that it cannot be destroyed. Matter is not destroyed, and also you will not have any matter that's been created. Let's see. We have now hydrogen, 4 atoms, and 2 oxygen atoms. They reacted and they formed water. Now, that's nothing new. How can we prove it? Well, if we count how many hydrogen atoms are on the product side, we can see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And in the reactant side, we had 4 hydrogen atoms. So that proves that matter can't be destroyed. So those atoms can't be destroyed. What about the oxygen? Same thing. 1, 2 in the reactants, and the product 1, 2. So that proves that matter can't be destroyed. And is there anything created other than is there anything other than hydrogen and the oxygen? No. In the product, no. Of course, they're just bonded. They're bonded in different ways. So we have that compound, which is water. So that proves that the first law is correct. Let's prove the second law now. It's correct. Now, of course, after we proved it, it's much easier to understand now what is the first law. What about the second law? Now, the second law, it says each pure chemical compound always has the same percentage composition of each element by mass. Let's put that in the opposite way. So let's say it's going to be like this. water, H2O is let's make it like this. But imagine it's in the opposite way. Let's say we have now H2O here, okay, and the reactants are not shown for now. We can see that we have 4 atoms of hydrogen and 2 oxygen atoms. So it says each pure chemical compound, we have here a pure chemical compound, is just made out of oxygen and 2 hydrogen atoms. They always have the same percentage composition of each element by mass. So you can see that if we look at the mass of hydrogen in here, the 2 moles of hydrogen, okay, and we calculate it, it would be approximately 4 AMU. We can see that here, if we calculate the mass of hydrogen also with both H2O molecules, the 2 moles of H2O, we can see also the mass of hydrogen will not change. It will be approximately 4 AMU. What about the oxygen? Same thing. Oxygen here, if we count only the oxygen atom, it will be here 32 in total, because 16 plus 16, 16 plus 16, the atomic mass unit. Okay, we add them, it will be 32. So here, it's 32 also, the atomic mass unit, AMU. So that proves that even the percentage of mass of the product will equal to the mass and the to the reactants, and the reactants will have also the same percentage mass of the product mass. Okay, and also if you add the oxygen atoms with the hydrogen atoms, the masses, they're equal to the mass of the 2 molecules of water. So this is how to prove that both of the laws are correct. And of course, this law is really interesting, and this is the end of our video. So I hope it was useful, and see you in the next video.